When Fox News is attacking you, you know you're doing a good thing. When Fox News is attacking you, it spells that there's something afoot relative to whoever's being attacked, that their profile is growing, that their role in the Democratic Party may be one of more import than it currently is. And I'm talking about Pete Buttigieg in this case. Pete Buttigieg, we'll get to it. He is not going to run for the Senate in Michigan. He's already said he's not going to run for governor in Michigan. And we'll get to that. But he is very likely going to run for president. He's going to forego a couple of really easy wins for him in a Senate race that would go his way, and that pollsters have said the Michigan governor's race was his if he wanted it. He's going to run for president. And because of this, it is causing beady-eyed little idiots like Brian Kilmeade to quake in their boots. Because if he's no threat, if he's no talent, if he has no intellect, they wouldn't worry about it. They wouldn't waste their time denigrating him for being gay and talking about whatever pronouns he does or doesn't have on his social media platforms. But leave it to the dumbest guy. And it's saying something when you're the dumbest guy on the morning show, Fox and Friends, when you're sitting there with four of just abjectly defiant, stupid people, whether that be Steve Ducey or the other guy who's like a new addition, or Ainsley Earhart, who doesn't know the difference between an antidote for a poison and an anecdote that you tell as a story. Just a dum-dum. She thought that the Japanese were communists in World War II. She also has said what about the majority? I'm so tired of taking care of the minority.
I do want to say that it is because we protect the rights of the minority, and there are listen, we have separation of church and state in this country.
What about the majority?
Okay, the majority.
So tired of protecting the minority.
What about the majority? Okay, the majority.
So tired of protecting the minority.
Yeah. So when that is your competition and you still are the dumbest guy on the couch, that's a problem. But here he is having the temerity. He's just suffering from Dunning-Kruger as though it's an actual disease, saying in attacks on Pete Buttigieg that the only thing he had going for him was that he was gay. And that was the only thing he ever talked about. I don't know that I've ever heard Pete Buttigieg talk about being gay unless it was a direct question or an attack on him about his sexuality. Anyway, here is Brian Kilmeade, certified moron, attacking someone way out of his station.
I would say this, he made his first big move. Took his pronouns off his profile.
Oh, it's about time.
So, yeah.
Did he?
Yep.
That's the first thing you look at on a profile?
It's noticeable when you live to, when your whole agenda is I'm gay. That was his big selling point, and accept me. And people did, and he put his pronouns up there. When that guy takes his pronouns off, I think it's big news.
Well, wait a minute. Does that mean he really wants to keep his pronouns on, but he's taking them off so he can run?
I think this, Ainsley, America's moved past DEI, pronouns, cancel culture, and that's the latest example.
That's right.
And I just think that Pete Buttigieg was failed mayor, failed transportation secretary, is doing his best. Now he's not doing anything. That's when he's at his best. And now he goes, I have an idea. Let me run for presidency so I can fail at 3 things.
Carly Shimkin.
Wow. Well, that's some gutsy talk right there from a weakling and a coward and just a stupid dumb shit. So let's address a few of these things. All of it's just filled with buzzwords. DEI, pronouns, cancel culture, all that's over now. It's along the same lines as, oh, we can finally say Merry Christmas again because the war on Christmas has been won. When your whole agenda is I'm gay, if Pete Buttigieg's whole agenda was that he was gay, then Brian Kilmeade's is that he's straight. Because it's as much a feature of his personality, Pete, as it is for Brian Kilmeade. It's just what he is. That's his big selling point, he says. And accept me. My favorite, though, is really failed transportation secretary. as we sit here with one of his former colleagues, Brian Kilmeade's former colleagues, Sean Duffy, the new transportation secretary, as we have planes falling out of the fucking sky at every moment of the day. Hundreds of people have died in plane crashes, or at least up to 100 people have died in plane crashes since Donald Trump took office. Tell me more about a failure of a transportation secretary. Tell me more about a failure of an administration to meet the moment relative to passenger safety. Brian Kilmeade, you beady-eyed wonderkin. Come on, tell me. But here is the situation. This is why he's being attacked. I'm going to read this headline from the Politico in a couple of paragraphs that will explain in full detail why Brian Kilmeade is caping for the Republican Party right now and attacking Pete Buttigieg years in advance of actually running for president of the United States. Here's the headline from the Politico. Buttigieg gives the clearest sign yet about his next steps. The former transportation secretary is eyeing something bigger than the Senate. Pete Buttigieg is expected to announce Thursday he will not run for Michigan's open Senate seat, according to a person briefed on his decision, clearing a path for a potential presidential campaign instead. His decision was framed by several allies and people in his inner circle as putting him in the strongest possible position to seek the presidency, and based on a belief it would be exceedingly difficult to run successive campaigns in 2026 and 2028. The former transportation secretary acknowledged recently that he'd been looking at a Senate campaign, including meeting with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer to discuss the possibility. Democrats are scrambling to hold on to the seat being vacated by retiring Senator Gary Peters in a crucial swing state. Republicans see it as a top pickup opportunity after coming close to flipping the state's other Senate seat last cycle. Buttigieg, who ran for president in 2020, moved back to Traverse City, Michigan, with his young family after 4 years of working in former President Joe Biden's cabinet. The workload of cabinet-related travel and the prospect of starting a campaign soon after weighed in his calculus, people close to him said. And then the other thing about the governor's race, before opting out of the Senate run, Buttigieg also ruled out a run for Michigan governor. Polling indicated that had he run, he would have started in a dominant position in the primary. The other thing that really bothers me about this is the fact that it's just ignoring that this failed transportation secretary, Pete Buttigieg, has spent more time owning morons on Fox News, leaving Republicans speechless, disseminating facts in about the most adroit way I've ever seen politics communicated. That is what really stings for the likes of Waterboy Brian Kilmeade, is that he has witnessed on his own air his colleagues just be decimated by Pete Buttigieg. So what do? You attack and you invent things to attack him with. Is he gay? Yeah, he's gay. Who fucking cares, Brian? Is that all you got? Is grade school taunts? You physical weakling, you little whiny, sniveling turd. I'll say the things Pete won't say. Yeah. But we all know the things Pete won't say, but we all know. What do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please consider supporting this work, helping support this channel, helping produce more videos like this that reach millions of people every month. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $1.99 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love and appreciate you very much. Maybe I'll see you on social media where I can be found at Dollemore. And I will see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.